I need to do be closer.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear y'all.
Hey y'all.
We're starting in a minute. We're waiting on Towns, and I think he's logging in right now.
How do I y'all are kind of the volume on this thing. I really hear you guys.
So you're probably, if you're trying to watch it and participate, you're gonna have that echo. It's kind of like, you know, when you call in on the radio, you're playing the radio at the same time. You're gonna have that echo. Logging in right now.
Somebody.
How do I y'all are kind of the volume on this thing. Maybe you can hear me.
So you're probably, if you're trying to watch it and participate, you're gonna have that echo. It's kind of like, you know, when you call in on the radio, you're playing the radio at the same time. You're gonna have that echo in right now.
Somebody.
How do y'all are kind of okay? That's perfect. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Maybe you can hear me. Okay, perfect.
So you're probably, if you're trying to watch it and participate, you're gonna have that echo. It's kind of like, you know, when you call in on the radio, you're playing the radio at the same time. You're gonna have that echo in right now.
Somebody needs to get it together. This is
Yes, somebody who's watching it and live at the same time. They'll have to put their headphones in. You know, when you call in on the radio, you're playing the radio at the same time. Hold on. Yes, somebody who's watching it and live at the same time. They'll have to put their head. Something's repeating.
Yeah, you're repeating
right now. It's like I hear a repeat.
Yeah, something's going on. I'm hearing a repeat.
Yeah, I hear a repeat. Is somebody on Facebook right now? Somebody who's watching it and live at the same time.
1 second.
Yeah. I'm not anything right now.
Yeah, you're repeating.
Right now.
Okay.
There we go.
Hallelujah.
There we go.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, everybody.
Hola.
Excited for everybody to join us tonight. We're going to have like a fantastic conversation. If tonight is anything like it was Monday night when we did our test, wow. It's going to be great. Sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, comment, share. It's a town hall. If you got a beverage, you know, hey, I don't care if it's a cocktail, mocktail, coffee, tea, water, whatever. Okay. Just chill, but get in on the conversation. Definitely in the chat. Be active. It's a town hall. It's not a town hall without you guys. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Dr. Race, the Global Mentor Coach. And yeah, instead of talking about me, I just want to talk about these amazing people. I'm here to moderate this conversation. We're going to get candid. We gonna get into talking about dating and relationship trends. If you tweet or post, please use the hashtag dating town hall so we can repost, share, all of that. So let's get into these panelists. We have Troy Vaughn III, aka Trey Amazing. He is a Memphis native turned Atlanta professional. He has a BA in Business Administration from Morehouse College, a graduate certificate in Public Health from Georgia State University, and a Master's of Public Health from Morehouse School of Medicine. He is a radio personality, a dating commentator, and public speaker. He is also the creator of Ringside LLC. It is an organization that bolsters communication between outspoken, over-the-top, and opinionated men and women via fiery, interactive, unfiltered debate around topics related to singlehood, dating, marriage, divorce, and sexuality. Troy is also the official Atlanta partner for The Sweet Spot. So yeah, welcome Troy to our panel. Our next panelist
Glad to be here.
Jeff Williams. He is a native of San Antonio, Texas, but he's spent a large portion of his adulthood in Washington, D.C., in that whole D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. He is a senior director of talent acquisition, working with various government agencies to ensure employment opportunities for veterans with disabilities and their spouses. He holds a doctorate in education policy and leadership from Chicago School of Professional Psychology. Jeffrey enjoys playing sports. He's an avid fan. Please, oh my God, if you follow him, it is all about, my God, the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
Jesus. Even when they are trash.
Hold on. Wait.
And he will tell you in the post, oh my God, I'm giving up on my Spurs this season. I'll come back next season. It's crazy. And the Houston Astros. He's an animal lover and will do just about anything to help animals or humans in need. He has a very big heart. So welcome to our panel, Jeffrey. We have Miss Epiphany McCants. She is from New Mexico, but has lived in Florida and the DMV. She's currently in the DMV. She is a department head of social studies, but has served in like various roles in schools. She has a master's degree in special education from the University of New Mexico. She enjoys coaching track and playing fantasy football. So Epiphany also loves her students, but she has a very high academic as well as personal standards. So welcome, Epiphany, to our panel.
Hello.
And our final panelist is right up the road from me. He's a hometown. We grew up together, well, elementary school, whatever. He is Horace Towns. He is the president of Towns Global Group, and he is the commissioner. He is a commissioner on the Revere Beach Housing Authority Board of Commissioners. He came to the spotlight as a Black conservative political figure on mainstream TV and radio segments. He is a writer and entertainer and served as CEO of Uptown South Entertainment until 2012 and head of A&R at H2 Entertainment from 2004 to 2007. Horace still performs on national tours while spouting residents between Revere Beach, Florida and Atlanta, Georgia. So welcome, Mr. Horace Towns.
Where is he?
To the conversation. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into it because I'm chopping at the bit right now. I want to just jump right on into hookup culture. I mean, we're just gonna go and jump into it. We're gonna jump and talk about hookup culture because hookup culture isn't new. It's been around forever. It's probably the name has changed over the years, but it's nothing new. It's just evolved, especially now with the onset of the internet. You got dating sites, you got apps, you got all this different stuff. You know what I mean? But let's talk about how hookup culture has evolved, how social media and online dating apps and different things like that affect hookup culture. Is hookup culture worse now than before all of this stuff was available?
Well, the only thing I could say as far as hookup culture, you alluded to it earlier. Hookup culture has always been there. It's been here, since men and women existed together. I think now what you're seeing with social media, technology, 5G, the whole nine, hookup culture is just digitized now, and that's really the transition, the flow that we're witnessing, with smartphones, with apps, with social media, the whole thing. It just makes things easier now and makes us more connected than we were before. And so these different mediums that are, literally in the palm of our hands just means that now we're doing the exact same thing that our parents and grandparents are doing, but now we just have a little bit more technological ease in going about achieving our outcome.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just gonna say it like this. I said it on Monday in our test run. The internet is one big club.
Okay.
It's just literally one big club right now, and it's just a matter of whose VIP section you in, or what area of the club you're in, and who you have access to, who you're connecting to. And when you're out here and you're trying to connect with people, you're not really meeting them. It's just like any other time. You're meeting their representative and you're meeting that persona and trying to sift through all of that is I think is part of the challenge. But I kind of prefer if people just go on ahead and tell the truth. Like if you're gonna hook up, just hook up. Just hit it. Just be honest. It's just like if you look in the dating in the event page in the discussions, I posted 2 tweets that I saw the other day. And it's basically talking about hookup culture. I would rather you just be blatantly honest and say you just want to hook up rather than play the games and trying to figure out, okay, dropping hints. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear just to waste my time. Just go and tell me you just want to hook up. You know what I mean? Like just.
Well, let me ask you, and you're talking, you were on various, but what apps and stuff have you used? Because nowadays people use code words like, what are you looking for? Or what are you trying to do? Right. I just would just say what I wanted. I mean, It is what it is. But you have stuff out there like Tinder and all kinds of apps, Facebook. People back in probably y'all's generation. I'm not trying to call y'all old, but probably
man.
probably y'all's generation. How did y'all? It was church, school.
Nah, we had Black Planet.
We had Black Planet.
Okay, listen.
We had Black Planet.
We had Black Planet. Bye. Okay, we had Black Planet. That was it. Okay, and anybody who survived Black Planet unscathed, and when I say unscathed, I mean without an STD, without Yeah, listen, we had Black Planet. Okay, before Black Planet, it was probably something else.
We had before Black Planet. When Black Planet came out, I mean that revolutionized so many things. Before Black Planet, people were assigning blame on the advent of cell phones, modern cell phones and pagers and, things like that, technology. Because at one point, I remember being in college, people were saying that if you had a pager, you had a cell phone, that looked suspect, but where there's a will, there's always a way. So, people are going to find a way to achieve their objective.
Well, I know.
I think the whole point of Tinder is just for hookup. I mean, to be honest, from what I understand about Tinder, to me, I see Tinder as hookup. It's like I don't know. I think that I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
I think there's a vetting, right? So when you're on an app, you have to be able to vet. So I have a sister and I can't do the apps because I don't have the ability to vet men as well as she does. But she has a vetting system and it works for her and she gets down to the nitty gritty and she is very like, what is it that you want? What is it that you're looking for? I mean, like she asks these very specific questions that weeds out men in a way that works for her. And so I don't necessarily think that there's one app that's better than another. You have people on Christian Mingle that aren't doing so right? So you can't say Tinder is just a hookup app. You have to think of all of them as either possible hookup apps. And what are you looking for?
Well, that's what, you got to put in that section what you're looking for. But a lot of people lie and say, I'm looking for friends. I'm looking for long term. But they're really just rock song.
You have to.
I agree with you. I think it is a matter of.
It is what it is.
Digging deeper. It's just I think people just get frustrated and don't want to dig through the trash. I don't know any other better way to say it. It's a lot. I don't do the apps because I'm like Epiphany. I don't
don't do it.
No, I mean, I've never done the app. I've never done like Tinder before, but I do agree that my impression of Tinder, the first time I heard about it was just for people who wanted to skip all the dating and get to know and just go straight to hook up. I'm not saying, right, that was my impression the first time I heard about it. I've never set up an account on Tinder, but everybody that I know that's on Tinder, that was for the most part their goal. And so, but I do agree. I mean, regardless, you have to figure out a way to carefully vet because you have people. I mean, do you actually have Christians on Christian Mingle? Does that really exist?
We're not going to.
Okay, that is an oxymoron to me.
People. No.
I mean, you have married people on these apps. You have people who say you have people that say they're looking for friendship. I'm like, no, you're not. You know, people. You know,
No, you're not.
You know, you want to network. No, you're not.
I want somebody I can talk to. Lies. Okay.
Right. You know, so it does happen. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying there's apps out there for people who are married who want to cheat on their wives. The Simpsons have been making fun of it.
Right.
It's real. It's
no, it is. I mean, polygamy is real. Open marriages, open relationships, they are real. It's happening. And people are looking for, and there are married couples who are looking for a third party. They're looking for people to join them, and they're using these apps as a means of in lieu of going to sex clubs. Like, people are literally trying to do that kind of stuff. Like, there are people who are bold with it that don't mind going to sex clubs and doing stuff like that. But then there are those who don't mind, who are trying to keep it, you know what I'm saying, in the closet, they want to keep it spicy. So they want to add folks to the mix. And listen, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But don't sit here and lie about it. I'd rather just say, again, just be honest and say that you're looking for, you know, somebody to join you and your spouse. I think there might even be a dating app just for that.
I think there is. Well, I would say this. I mean, in addition to apps, and you know, I know this firsthand. I mean, people use Facebook groups. People use private Facebook groups. Absolutely. I mean, I've been conducting my private group for about 10 years now, and I can't tell you how many people who under the radar will hook up, and married people will come in there looking for a side piece, or just like you were saying, you know, a married couple will look for a third. Polyamory couples or open marriages looking for people who are, you know, open-minded, and you know, so on and so forth. So because I've always said, you know, as it pertains to Facebook groups, no matter what you're into, no matter how vanilla, how kink, you know, no matter what your fetish is, no matter what you're into, trust me, there's a Facebook group for it. I don't care what you're into. There's a private Facebook group for exactly what you're looking for, exactly what you want.
Oh yeah, and then let me say it like this. I want to say it like this too. And I already got some topics for our next one if y'all want to join me. But don't think that because people say they're Christian, that they're not into kink, that they're not into polyamory. It's some people who are Christian leaders. It's people from the pulpit that are into polygamy, that are into polyamory, that go to sex clubs, that are addicted to pornography. Just because people say they're a Christian doesn't mean they're delivered. That's two totally different things. But I don't want to get into that this time, but I'm just saying I want to put that out there because we put labels on everybody, everything. And I think that's part of the problem of why we have so many people that are in the closet, down low or whatever, which creates a bigger problem, makes things a little bit, well, to me, dangerous when it comes to dating and relationships, because people are afraid of stigmas and these labels and what it could do to them. But there's so much that can go into it, but it's just a lot. But I want to hear from Horace because he's been quiet.
Well, listen, no, it ain't that. It's between Jeff and Troy. I'm picking up stuff because you know I was married for 8 years, you know, so this is new to me. But I would say that no matter, a lot of people won't agree, but music and reality TV, how far does that shape the culture? You know, when we was in high school, we was on all this love stuff, man. I remember it was Jodeci, Drew Hill, and then it switched up to something different. Now it's kind of like, take this D, bitch. and I mean, even watching my nephews, how they treat women and even how the women receive it. I mean, the culture's just kind of accelerated overnight. So all about convenience.
Like Master P, and they all came out around the same time in the 90s, right? That's when the evolution of treating, I mean, really, have men always treated women in a certain way?
Well,
nah, we was in love in the 90s.
We have all.
I will say this. I do agree because he brought up Jodeci, and to me, Jodeci is my favorite R&B group, hands down, straight up. But anyway, because even in the 90s, I agree. We had the Jodecis, we had the Drew Hills, we had the High Fives, Boys and Men's, and you know, so on and so forth. But we also had, you know, 69 Boys, Uncle Luke.
Right.
We had some weird things. Yeah, 2 Live Crew. So we've been unfortunately objectifying women and sexualizing women since whenever, since when you can do it.
Right.
That's when we changed a little bit.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I do agree that, and of course, I'm showing my age now too. Of course, as the years have gone, it becomes more normal and not as taboo. It's not, because in the 90s you had the Dolores Tuckers and Maxine Waters that were, trying to boycott, rap and trying, all that. Now, I think that this culture of, hypersexuality of our women and objectification, it's becoming more normal. It's becoming way more normalized, more household, and just something that is getting more mainstream and radio play. So I do agree that that is the trend that we're seeing. But
let's bring it up though. It's not just now today's time, and I don't know if you listen to music today. Lil' Kim, before she turned into an Asian man, when she first came out, all her music, I will give her this. As much as I don't like her, she came out and she started talking about how she likes to have sex. She even has on her first album her having sex with Biggie at the beginning of it on the cover.
I bought that first album. I remember.
Asian man, Jesus.
But no, and Lil' Kim kind of flipped the switch, and I respect her for it back then when she was a respectable person. For that, because she changed the narrative a little bit, because it was all about every other sentence in some of these rappers' words was, I'm getting that cat, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get this bitch this, I'm gonna beat this. Eminem even had a song with him beating a girl in his trunk on his Marshall Mathers. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And she kind of flipped the switch, and some men did not like that. I was wrong. I was young to understand, but I know my parents said, no, don't listen to that trash. And I understand why now. But but you even hear today, like the City Girls, Cardi, some of the ratchet people that people like, that's all they talk about. And it kind of flipped a little bit.
I agree. I saw something earlier today that Steve Harvey, he has those little talks or whatever. He's been posting about that after Family Feud tapings. And the one that is ironic that we're having this conversation, because the one that I saw this morning was talking about music and how people dress. He was talking about dressing, and he was saying how back in the day, the music was about love and women and was impressing women. And it was the culture changed when hip hop came in. And he said he's not blaming hip hop. He said, but when men started shifting their focus from dressing for women to impress women to, oh man, that's hard. He said everything shifted from love to being hard, and that was the thing. And so, who are you now impressing? Who is the interest? So the whole concept of move it, and he talked about he was doing some ludicrous lyrics and move, get out the way, and that's true. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I bumped to Ludacris back in the day, so I know. But I do think you do see an evolution of music and how it has changed. Like, you don't have LTD, Jeffrey Osborne, Jodeci, the H-Towns, that kind of stuff. It's very, like, even the R&B today, you won't call it that, it is not the same. It's definitely not the same. And so I think that we see a different influence. It's not the same. And so there's the different, the influence is the influence that music has. Like, y'all, I've been killing it with DJ D-Nice. I was listening to D-Nice before, we came online, because he played all the hits from the night. Like, brother going in, and then people are like, well, what is that? And it's funny because you can see people who don't know the generation, but I'm like, you better play that, da 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 da, and it clicks with you. And so it's just kind of crazy how music influences culture, and it does influence, obviously, as we can see as we're talking about it does influence dating and relationships. So I think my next question would be, with the advent of the internet and social media, does that even, as it relates to people being impressed or influenced, like how deep into, how deep does social media influence dating and relationships when it comes to people really being impressed by what they see? Because let's be honest, you ain't dating nobody that you don't find attractive.
No, I hold on. I know people who will date somebody fat and ugly or whatever for their money. Or who they can get. Yeah, I'm saying, I know women who have been with a dude that looks like Biggie or Fat Joe, simply for their money. So I don't know about that. But you mean for genuine love, right?
Genuine love, you definitely have people. I think that I do. I'm a merge both of you guys' answers because I do agree that attraction is a part of every relationship. Now, whether it be attraction towards that person's personality or, like you're saying, money, or for what they can do for that person, what they can get out of them, there is something there, something like, oh, I think they're an attractive person, or I think that person has a beautiful soul, or oh, that person got money. I'll never be broke again. So there's always going to be something. There's going to be a draw there, and so you just have to, everybody has a different mindset. Everybody has a different agenda for what they're looking for out here dating.
I think the whole point goes to what Epiphany said earlier about vetting. But I think the vetting process is so much harder, at least to me, because it's sifting through and trying to get people to have a conversation and just be honest and tell the truth. But again, the persona that you see on social media, when you have a conversation with them, it's like, wait, this don't.
Let me tell you.
Dr. Hughes, I'm asking a question. For the veterans that have gotten out there, a lot of people don't even believe in the internet no more. I think the younger generation do. Right now, what's the sustainability of me having a relationship if what's driving me to go after this chick is her twerking, or she got the thigh tattoo? Most of her pictures are driving me in a physical way, right? And then you also got to add in that filter factor, because that's killing the game right now. And those filters. But when I see her, I see her, you ain't like, she red on pictures, and I see her, she my color. Like
someone just said that.
And some of that is makeup too. Some of y'all makeup should enhance. It should not totally transform you. Like
the devil's cake frosting.
Makeup is pure sorcery. It's sorcery.
The devil's cake frosting.
I knew that was gonna come. I knew
it come for makeup. So let me say this. I'm gonna speak on this. We're not gonna come for makeup right now. Listen, if you know that a woman wears makeup, you know that it's an enhancement. You can tell when a woman has too much makeup on.
Yeah, so I agree.
As an avid makeup wearer, I'm gonna take up for all the women who love makeup.
Look good without makeup, though.
But your makeup is a natural. We talking about people who are 4 shades darker than me that look like you with makeup on. That's what we're talking about.
I mean, but at the end of the day, right? It's still an enhancement. So you know when their neck doesn't match their face, or you like, come on,
it's fraud.
There's signs. I just think that men want to believe that this goddess just wakes up looking like this. It's like Beyonce's song. Like,
yeah, I mean, Beyonce said, she woke up like that. So, but let me address Epiphany. I do agree. As a man, I am someone.
You're frozen. You're frozen.
Well, while he's frozen, I can say this. Somewhat Rodney had commented, said, what about the people who are attractive on the outside but have an ugly personality?
True.
And that seems to be a common trend.
Yes.
Right.
I can tell you that. He's frozen.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
What about the people that are...
He's coming back. There you go. Okay, so you're back.
Image is killing
Troy,
everything.
You were frozen, so start over.
Do you have Comcast?
Still frozen.
Don't do it.
I have Comcast. They get scared of my Comcast.
Okay, you know what? Somebody don't want me talking about makeup. Somebody hates me. Somebody upstairs. The bad guys don't want me. So the devil is alive and well. So I'm gonna just say this. Ladies, makeup is fine. Just subtlety. I don't need you looking like a clown. I don't need you looking like a corpse. I don't need you looking like a dead clown.
Did you say corpse?
Oh, yeah. Not the white donut look.
Makeup is even wigs too, like them Tyler Perry wigs.
Oh. Here's the thing, though. Let's discuss this. You know that someone is not born with pink hair. You know that someone is not born with neon hair. So if you're going for that type of woman that has photos with that type of hair, or that you're going for a look. You're not going, you're going, that's what you're going for. These people aren't born with that color
And
hair.
if you-
They're not like,
yeah.
come on, you can come for the external, but is that what you're looking for? Are you looking for someone that can make your pictures look nice? Like I have a friend that dates people and she only dates people that look nice in photos.
Mm.
So
Hawaiian silky.
she's not single, but
It worked for her.
but it works for her. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, everybody has their thing, right? Now, I wear makeup. I mean, apparently I look natural or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, but at the end of the day, there's been times where I've put too much on or, whatever. But I mean, it's all in trial and error. But we are all people. We know what we're getting when we're looking at a photo and we know that it's not natural.
This is what you do. You go to, well, if you what you're talking about the pink hair and stuff, you want to find all that, go to Walmart after 8:00 p.m.
Actually, I can't.
Mm.
But
I
am I
can't
wrong?
with you. You're not wrong. But
I want to love you, but you are not letting me right now. I swear.
True.
that's terrible.
Because I'm not doing this with you today.
Hey, you know what? Pink, I just thought about pink hair. That would be sexy in the bedroom.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm gonna ask you guys this though. We're talking about perceptions on social media. How do you guys feel about those couples that be taking all those pictures every other day? Oh, we're here. I love Bae. We're going to sleep. They're posting all the time, but it's full of crap.
Right. It ain't real. But it's like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it's just like reality TV. It's scripted. It goes back to, it's a persona. People want you to buy into it. And right now, everybody's looking for that one thing that's gonna make them go viral.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that does, again, it influences dating and relationships because people are put on the perception. It's just like, oh, you always on a plane, baby. You got a picture with a window, and you know what I'm saying? It's just like faking it till you make it. You're creating something. And
Everything is about image. It's about image.
It's about image, and
It's
so
about
I
putting out
think
image.
images are really influencing people's expectations of dating and what they're looking for, and it's like.
Hughes. Wait
Yeah.
till the $1,200 checks come out.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in the Maldives.
It's just like
We gonna be everywhere.
check, IRS refund, yes.
Oh, it's gonna be
It's
terrible.
ridiculous.
We stunting everywhere.
But in fairness, though, where are we gonna buy it? Everything's shut down. No one's gonna. I think
Well,
everyone's.
I'm selling eyelashes, so hit me.
We're
Amazon.
going.
There's always Amazon.
People have some hustles. I've seen so many get a massage with seafood boils. A lot of people know edibles. That's the new thing, and I'm okay.
Edibles are huge. Mushrooms and edibles.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about that. No,
You gotta try one. Not that I do that. I'm just saying.
I love edibles.
Right.
Just
But
putting it
I
out there.
think again, I think that again, I think a lot of it boils down to perception. And while we're talking about, appearance, I was going to talk about this next one, but let's get into it. Let's talk about body modification.
Oh,
Because
I got a
and
lot.
while we're talking about, I don't know what Horace is doing to keep disconnected, but I want to
Getting
talk
calls.
about body modification because as we're talking about makeup, enhancements, wigs, whatever, we may as well talk about body modification. People are into it, and it's okay. Again, but everybody has their preference. Listen, whether you fix a flat in the butt, in your boobs, or whatever,
I can't with that.
piercings, stretching your lip, implants, whatever. People are into body modifications, tattoos, all that kind of stuff. So how does, when you see somebody who's into body modification, how does that affect dating and relation and your perception of what you think they might be into?
go ahead.
I'll just say this. I don't care if it's body modification, wig, weaves, whatever. I mean, the only thing I look for is subtlety. But also when you talk about, which I just realized a few years ago, someone had to clue me into, I didn't realize that, number one, breast augmentation was as cheap as it was for a lot of people. And then someone also said, well, you can also finance that. You don't have to go in there and drop 5, 6, stacks at one time. You can make installments. And I'm like, no wonder you got all these college and early 20 girls with boob implants. I'm like, okay. But I'll say this, my whole thing is, even with that, I'm looking at financial responsibility. If you you know, if you and I are dating and you're talking about you're behind on this bill, on that bill, and you can't catch up with rent, but you got money for cosmetic enhancements, that's 3 strikes right there. I've already demoted you.
Right. I'm already turned off.
Right. You can cancel the idea of meeting my mom. That ain't gonna happen.
Right. That's a bad investment right there because you didn't miss the whole move. You missed, I do that.
So I do have a problem with that. You know, for someone, I will say this: I can't knock someone for wanting to wake up every day and like what they see in the mirror. Right. I don't care if they're getting their teeth fixed or whatever. I do say some people go above, you know, go too far. You went too far and stayed too long. You did way too much and now you're in debt, and that's unattractive. So I just say, you know, just take it easy. Just don't go overboard with it. But, you know,
it's a matter of preference.
Yeah.
Jeff,
it's a matter of preference.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go after him.
I was just gonna say, honestly, one, to piggyback what you said, Troy. It's a lot of pressure that these women, especially young women, go through to compete. You've seen movies where I have a sibling and relatives and some friends who in high school they used to stuff their butt, stuff their bra, whatever. I've seen it. I still see it to this day. I know somebody that stuffs their butt and they have fake hair and fake eyebrows and fake everything. And the person has their own show because they have, when they're on their show, they're red and look crazy. But I will say this too. I don't mind a fake butt. I don't mind fake breasts because to me, it is part of you. Once it's part of you, as long as when you're 40 years old, you ain't drooping and sagging and looking crazy.
I agree 100%.
There's upkeep to it. Let me say it like this. I'm gonna say it like I'm natural. Like I was a full C in the 3rd grade. Okay, in the 3rd grade, I was a full C.
I know.
So I talk to people who want to buy these. It's expensive just giving these a home without me buying. I don't need to be augmented. It's natural. So it's a lot that goes into it. And people are like, oh, I just want to listen. Once you get it, there is upkeep to it. Right up the road, we have something called Boca Babe. And so they undergo a lot of plastic surgery to maintain a certain look because once that novelty wears off, they get their divorce, they're going to get their settlement and move on. They have lost their novelty. So they have to stay a certain way, like their body, they face, everything has to be a certain way. Once that novelty runs off, that's it. That man moving on to the next thing. This is a real thing down here. So there is a lot of pressure to look a certain way, especially in this market here. But I say, to me, I'll say it's overrated, but it's easy for me to say that because again, I've been carrying these my whole life. You know what I mean? Like when you got it, and you,
Dr. H, FYI, I am a breast man, by the way.
I want to love you, but no, you're missing the point of the conversation. Okay, Epiphany, get on here. Please help me out. Get it in.
The thing is, I think with women, you know, I agree with you, Troy. If you can't manage, and it's not even about being able to keep your lights on and then you financing your booty or your boobs or whatever. You know, that's a whole other discussion. But I think like you have to look at there's a twofold answer. If you're too big, you're out. You know what I'm saying? Like you look unhealthy, what health problems do you come with and all this stuff. Like men will not look at you and will not want to be in a relationship with you. They'll sleep with you, but then they're like, oh, okay, I don't want her because she's too big or whatever. So maybe lose weight, whatever, then you go and you get whatever you want to get done. There's a lot of people that do that as well. So when we're talking about upkeep and this and that, and women doing whatever they need to do, maybe they're looking for love and they can only get on the same playing field as others if they do certain things to get where they need to be. So, I mean, there's so many facets to this conversation, but we can't pigeonhole all these women that want boobs or whatever in one category. It's a lot of women that just want to be on the level playing field as other women. So some people don't surface. Like, for instance, I have to use myself as an example. I have 2 sisters. I find them like beautiful. Like, I just think they're like the most amazing things ever since sliced bread. Okay. But there's some people that think oh no, you're the pretty one out of the group. I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at myself in a skewed lens. Some people think I'm just gorgeous.
You are.
Well,
You're beautiful.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? With or without makeup, you know, some people think, oh my God, you're so beautiful, even though you consider your sister so beautiful. Now, mind you, I have been discriminated against because I'm quote unquote gorgeous, pretty, whatever. And other women don't feel like they're on that level playing field with me. You know what I'm saying? So we have to talk about the leveling of the playing field. Maybe I can't serve face like Epiphany does, but maybe I got this body to get Troy's attention, to get Horace's attention.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to get on that level playing field. You got to look at it like that.
You've seen.
I agree.
Let me address that. Number one, you are very beautiful. I think we all can agree with that. So, number two, as far as like, because I've known women that've gotten breast augmentation. I'm not a woman. I don't deal with the pressure of being feminine or looking like a lady. I understand there've been some women who they get breast augmentation because they want to look more feminine. They want to look,
Right.
because breasts are a distinguishing characteristic of a woman having breasts. It doesn't necessarily mean a woman getting breast augmentation doesn't mean she wants to look like Anna Nicole Smith and be all out here. Some women want to look and feel like an adult woman and not like, prepubescent. So that part I understand. I don't judge that whatsoever. I do, just like I was going back what I was saying, as far as you have to be aware of why you're getting this and, be comfortable with your decision, because like you were saying, some women do it to get the attention of guys like me or as Jeffrey. But at the end of the day, it's like, what kind of attention are you trying to get? Because not all attention is good attention. There are a lot of women out there that I may give a certain kind of attention to. I may give you attention.
It boils down to the kind of attention. What kind of attention do you want to draw to yourself? I'm sharing this because I'm talking as we're talking about augmentation. If you all don't remember, this is the lady who was selling butt implants, injections, but she was injecting people with flat. Like the stuff.
I remember that story.
That was a lady.
But these are the extremes that people go to. Like people was really losing their lives. People will go all the way to the Brazilian butt lift and all of these things. I think that the pressure I'm just posting this just so we can see the lengths people go to augment themselves. But to Jeffrey's point about the stress that comes along with, you know what I'm saying, dating and relationships and what it takes sometimes to really be out here.
No. I want to say I got 3 clients that I worked with last year, right? This is a new trend in South Florida. I don't know about where y'all at. A lot of guys not really into I ain't gonna say the guys, but I got 3 clients that they went and got the fake breasts and they got the fake butt, all with the intention of, I'm going to be an IG model, and one of these ballers, I'm going to catch one of them, and that's my life plan. It sounds crazy, but one of them got an NFL player, and had a baby.
Because it works. It works.
It works for them.
It works. Yeah. And anybody who's on Instagram, every other woman is an IG model. And so for a lot of people, for a lot of women, it is an investment. It's like, let me spend this 5 to 10 stacks, and then guess what? I got 1 million followers overnight.
I could top that. Where we live, we have a gym, and I saw a girl one day. I'm downstairs getting my workout on. She literally came down. She was bad, and she came down there in her gym stuff, tight clothes, had her shirt right here, had her headphones. She literally got her yoga stuff, got some weights, put it around her, right? And she went to the upper room in the gym and did the splits on the mat and took a picture. And then after that, just waved goodbye to me. And I'm just like, this girl literally came down to the gym to take a thirst check. 2 days later, I saw some dude in a Bentley outside picking her up to go to the movie. She looked like she was going on a hot date. So I'm assuming
works.
whoever she was trying to get, you know, did anybody just see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. We're here.
Of course, you didn't answer me on the podcast.
Huh?
No, all these phone calls, and I don't know how to silence the incoming calls.
I told do not disturb.
Yeah.
I just
Turn your
put
do
it
not
on.
disturb
You
on.
have Android phones are not capable of those kind of things.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
No,
wow.
he's an iPhone user.
My sister
iPhone
he's
11
not
Pro
phone.
Max.
nationality isn't celebrated in social in media, and that's
Same.
true.
Right.
It's true. Like if you look at Nene Leakes, I think who was it? Eva. You know Eva, the one that won America's Next
Eva
Top.
Marcel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marcel.
She just did like this challenge with all the women's of the women housewives of Atlanta, and she was like, show who you really are, like do this not like natural beauty photo. And so Nene Leakes did it, like a whole bunch of women did it, and now it's kind of like trending to be natural at, during this time of quarantine and things like that.
Right.
Is to show who you are in your natural state and not on airs and whatever.
Right.
And because they're always like they're so straight.
Oh yeah, because you
super-
have to look a certain. Yeah, people feel like they have to look a certain way, but I think it's crazy. But I think but it's. I don't think it's just women though, because men are doing enhancements. Like men have issues with hairlines. Men have the man weave thing now. That like men have that with the. I'm like, so men wrestle with, okay, do I go bald? My hairline is receding. Do I do that, or do I get this man weave? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think men have some of the same challenges, you know what I'm saying, with appearance and beauty. And like, it may not be to the same extreme level as women, but at the same time, like some men do freak out about that hairline. Like, I don't want to go bald. I'm gonna hold on. So I'm gonna do this man weave and whatever. So
I don't know about that.
No, I think so. I just think it's so taboo that they're not out there with it.
Well, I'm gonna say, when I see color contacts and stuff, I'm like,
listen, dudes are starting to wear waist trainers.
Men do wear waist trainers. Don't trip. They have waist trainers for men.
That's not a body enhancement.
No,
I wear waist trainers.
No, we're not going there. We're not going to go. We're not going. What I'm saying is, I think men actually do like go under the knife and do get certain things. Absolutely, believe it or not.
Right.
Okay, you think that a man with a little penis isn't going to go under the procedure to get it enhanced?
Thank you, because I was just about to bring that up.
Ain't no surgery. Ain't no surgery for him.
Okay, but I'm telling you, men, they want to be performance. Y'all are very competitive. Y'all do the most for whoever you're with. Whatever your preference is. Y'all want to be like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I got the biggest whatever. I drive. I mean, like your car is an extension of your weed whacker.
Not mine.
Weed whacker.
Did you call it a weed whacker?
Listen,
we're talking about it.
There's no technology for that.
It goes back to something that Troy said earlier. There's a difference in augmenting your body because you want to feel like a woman. You want to feel like you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, women get implants for different reasons. If you're a breast cancer survivor, you had your breast removed and you want that, that's fine. I think a man a couple of years ago had a penis enhancement or replacement surgery because he had cancer or something like testicular cancer. And so they had to, that's different. But people will absolutely augment because it is really a thing to have a small weed. Like women will draw a man.
Yes.
Blacklist
him. What am I gonna do with this? Like I know some people like I got a room. My college roommate was like that. She's like, girl, I can't do that. Like that's a tic tac. I ain't got time for that. Like women are really hard to go in on men about. You know what I'm saying? That area is real sensitive. Men, it's a sensitive area. It's a sensitive topic, and so we give women a hard time about breast augmentation, but there are men out here for full on. Why y'all think Viagra exists?
Right. I'm telling you, I know.
And it's on the roof. Men can get Viagra through insurance, but women can't get.
About me.
It sounds like you date older guys. 'Cause these are all foreign things to me.
Wait a minute. What is an older guy with the size of his weed whacker?
Oh, the Viagra and all this stuff.
Listen, no, what Viagra is a real situation. Maybe,
The whacker.
like, come on. Men need enhancements too. Y'all, okay, first of all, I know some young men that can go like 3 minutes. There's got to be 2 out there. There's a billion people in the world. So you're telling me that every young man goes 30 minutes or more? No, they don't.
No, it's not. Agreed. Like,
back in my day.
I can't stand y'all. But no, seriously, I think that but she's right, because Viagra is not just for old men.
It's not.
It's for anybody. Like, okay, a lot of medicines that people are on causes erectile dysfunction. So guess what? What then? It's a side effect. So guess what? You take another medicine.
Yeah.
And then another, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So,
High blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication. There are so many medications that will help other things necessary in your body, but they will destroy that down there.
Yes.
The weed whacker.
The weed whacker.
The weed whacker.
We're gonna give her a better term than weed whacker.
You gonna give her a better turn than weed
Yeah.
whacker? Wait, then
We
you
ain't
need
doing
to
weed
give
whacker.
us something.
I love
I mean,
weed whacker. It just makes it's
Weed whacker.
Tallywhacker. But I mean, as far as
I don't know. Some of y'all, I don't know, come up with stuff. But anyway,
I mean, Viagra,
don't know.
Cialis, these things are definitely used by a lot of men. I mean, for the men out there listening and watching, I would say, if you can avoid these drugs,
Right.
I would say, look, drink plenty of water. You need to focus on your circulation, eat more fruits and vegetables, and get sleep. Processed food, Hennessy, salt,
Help 'em
more
out.
salt, too much
Please
salt.
help 'em out.
All these things will affect that. And trust me, I'm a 40-year-old man. Trust me, there are things I've had to modify in my diet because I wanted to see a change in other areas. And so I don't knock any man. I got friends who talk about popping Viagra and stuff like that. Hey, do you,
Right.
bro? I'm not trying to control what you do in your bedroom between you and whomever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for the people out there that want alternatives to these drugs, diet helps out a lot.
Let me ask.
Right.
Let me
Good
ask.
advice, Troy.
Let me ask the women this: you're on a date with a guy, y'all about to get it in,
Oh,
and you go in their bathroom and you look in their medicine cabinet. Assuming you do, and you see their Viagra, does that turn you off?
No.
You sure?
No.
No, but because here's the thing. Let me chime in, okay? Here's the thing. If your goal is to get it in, and you know that you're gonna get a good solid, you know what I'm saying? This ain't finna be no quickie, and you're gonna be mad.
Yeah.
Why would that turn you off? Because at the end of the day, if you come in there with the mindset that you finna do this, and you know Viagra guarantees that he gonna be stiff and strong for a good however long it's gonna be, why would that turn you off? Because you not, this ain't no love thing, baby. We talking about hookup culture. If you finna hit it, split it, and quit it for however long, and Viagra gonna help you get what you want out of this person for however long it's about to be, why then would that turn you off?
What you mad about?
If you're looking for something long term, maybe that's the opening to a conversation, to a different conversation at another time. But at that moment, you finna get it in. Why would you care?
Troy gave them some good advice because a lot of people that take that Viagra, I done heard a lot of stories where that was their last orgasm.
Oh yeah, you will find yourself in the back of an EMT.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, understand what Viagra, Cialis, understand what some of these stupid gorilla pills that you buy from these sex stores or these gadgets. Understand what they're doing to your body chemistry. Because yes, at the end of the day, let's short-term goals. At the end of the day, you may, see that performance, but after a couple hours, you don't know if it's still there and the girl done left, and you just watching Family Guy on the couch and it's still there, then you may have an issue. You may have an issue as far as, cardiac issues or respiratory or whatever. So trust me, I've had these conversations. I'm at the age where these are topics among, bros. And so that's why I say, look, just if you pay more attention to your diet, because if you're 40 years old, still eating and living like you did when you're in college, then you're going to need Viagra. you're going to need psyops. So you have to pay attention to things like that, because in addition to penile health, you got to think about overall health.
Hey, are y'all reading these comments? These comments. I'm looking at some of these comments.
Yeah, the comments are lit. I don't. The comments are lit.
Yeah,
I love y'all.
in a second. Minus my best friend, he a fool, and I love it. But I'm gonna say this too. The rhino pills, and you mentioned gorilla pills. People take those to go to sex events, or if they're trying to go 4 or 5 times a day for some reason. Ooh. Sometimes sex workers do it. I don't at all. I have close friends who've done it, and they own nice cars, houses. Do what you do. I don't believe in judging people, because some people, we have people who are in Congress every day robbing people in suits. So I don't judge anyone for what they do.
Well, to that point, Jeffrey, when I made that comment, it wasn't necessarily condemnation or judgment, because my background is public health. So I'm thinking about, in addition to sex, I'm thinking about your heartbeat, your breathing, because I'm thinking more so long term. What people got to do, as far as, I don't care if you're taking gorilla pills or a cock ring or whatever you got to do what you got to do to achieve your goal. But at the end of the day, I just want people, and like I said, this is me putting on my public health hat. I want people to be more cognizant of their health. A cock ring? Is this incriminating?
Did he say that?
I heard that word. Cock.
Yeah. Oh. If you go to a sex store, is the packaging, it'll say cock ring. You notice. You put it at the base.
Like some white people stuff. No offense.
Cock rings have been around for a long time. People who are into fetishes, BDSM, they use a lot of.
What are they supposed to do?
A cock ring was designed, and I'm not. A cock ring is designed when you have an erection. It's about a circular, usually made out of plastic or sometimes metal. You slide it on and you put it at the base of your penis, and it's supposed to constrict, and it's supposed to result in a lasting erection. So basically constricting the very base of your penis and making a tight squeeze so you have a longer erection. That's all.
That's what you heard, Troy. That's what we heard.
That's what I heard. I know, but y'all gotta understand that this is stuff that people are using. Like, this is stuff that's real. This is not
out there.
Just say now.
And you talk about dating and relationship. We're talking about hookup culture. You need to understand, when you start talking about hookup culture, you got to be careful with who you hook up with, because people are into some stuff. People are into fetishes. People are into, like, BDSM is real. And I'm not talking about just old whips and lashes and handcuffs. I'm talking about BDSM, like people who like fire and cutting and like real BDSM stuff. This is real. And it's not
I said that the last time.
Black people, minority people are getting into this stuff.
Remember, I said that on Monday. If you're here in Atlanta, there is a growing culture of Black BDSM and kink. I've been to kink events to do media. Trust me, there are Black people out there. There are plenty of, woke Black people out there into all this kink stuff. I mean, for real. Yeah. So
you're scared to say it out loud because they're scared of being judged.
But again, I think that again, earlier I talked about the fear that people have and why they're in the closet with their sexuality. And this ain't talking about LGBT stuff. I'm talking about, talking about this stuff right here, BDSM and sex clubs and all of these different things that people are really going to. Polyamory, polygamy, all of these labels, all of this stuff that's real, that people are into. And if you're trying to date and you're looking for something serious, you got to learn how to navigate hookup culture and identify certain terminology and things that are happening out there, so that you know that, or you'll know what questions to ask when you dating people. Like, and I'm not talking about the first date. Like, on the first date, you don't air all your dirty laundry on the first date. But after you date a while, you need to ask these questions. You need to know what people are into. You don't want to be 6 months into dating and you start dating exclusively to find out that somebody is into something that scares you, that you're not down with. Like, You got to find somebody that's on your same level. If you vanilla and this person is like all the way espresso, that's not gonna work.
Let me ask you a question.
That's not gonna work.
Any of you met with someone, whether online or person, and then when you're about to hang out with them, or when you have, they introduce you?
Yes.
Excuse my language. Sorry.
Yes.
No, I mean,
Repeat the question.
Sorry.
What was the question, Jeff?
Basically, have you intended to go on a date or chatted with someone about to hang out with them, or did hang out with them, and then they introduced some crazy stuff?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so my
Probably, yeah.
example is I went on a date with someone and he claimed to be like this executive, whatever. And whether or not it's true or not, I don't know. So I'm not going to say he's not an executive, and I'm not going to say he is. But then he was like, I want you to be my sugar baby, and started trying to hit me and like hitting me. And like, I'm like, what are you? What is happening? And then he's, well, I'm into spanking. I want to tie you up, this and that. And I was like, this is my cue to leave, exit stage left.
Right.
I'm not into that. Like, there's a certain time and a place where you would introduce this to me, but not like literally he's trying to indoctrinate me in the first date.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at least he told me who he was so I could exit early on.
He gave you a choice.
Right.
Yeah,
He gave you a choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Before he started tying you up and you became a statistic.
I mean, like literally, and I was like, what is happening here? I need you to let me go. Like, I had to use very strong verbiage. It was very scary. So
yeah.
And that
it's listen.
It was
we're having this conversation because it's scary. Dating is scary. Like dating and relationship is scary. I don't care if you're married. Being married right now is scary. Like people who are married trying to put the spice back in.
Yes,
it's
Lord.
Scary. It is really scary.
I've run into couples that are male and female that do that Will Smith and Jada stuff. That I literally have gotten hit up, and they're like, "Oh, we both do stuff." I'm like, "Oh, that's good for you." Block.
Yeah.
So,
again, go back to what I said earlier when we first started the conversation is I would rather you be honest. Just go and have a conversation to be honest than to just sit here and lie. I'm gonna try to pull up the post, but
Scotty Hughes.
But yeah, go ahead, Horace.
I was gonna say years ago, I won't even tell the years ago, but I was in a place where I said, I'm sexually active, I've got a high libido, this is what I want. I met someone that ended up being a nympho. And that taught me a lesson about what I thought I wanted in life. And it affected them to the point where they were mentally collapsed.
Yes.
Like it controlled them to that point. It scared the crap out of me. Yes. And they actually had as a female, she had a couple domestic violence cases where she had stabbed guys, and I'm riding in the truck, about to hop out the truck when she confessed it to me, but that changed my life forever.
That's called unfriend.
Sexual addiction is
in
real.
In Atlanta.
Yeah, no, sexual addiction is real. And I worked with, when I was this was years ago when I was living in Durham, North Carolina, I worked with someone who was sexually addicted, and like it was to the point when he says it controls you, it controlled her whole mood. Girl could not work, she could not do anything, and we knew. And it was to the point my GM would say, "Do not come back to work till you had some. I will not even put you on the schedule." Like it was that serious. And I'm going like, my God, I thought I had a problem. No, when it controls you to that point, it's an issue. Like it's a full-on issue. But it's real. And it's something that's you gotta understand that these kinds of things are happening. We're not talking about some crazy stuff that's not real. This is really happening. This is real. Nymphomaniacs exist. This kind of stuff is period point blank. I don't care who you are. You can act like you don't believe it. Listen, there are people who remember Freaknik, and they trying to bring Freaknik back. Listen, it's just like the internet is one big Freaknik. It's just finding the group again. It's just I'm okay. We're gonna go to this post real quick because I'm just gonna show y'all Daytona, like
94.
for real. It's real crazy, but y'all, okay, so if y'all didn't see this post, this is in the discussion for tonight, for the group. I found this tweet the other night and I had to screenshot it because it's real. I appreciate it. If you don't see it, I can't make it bigger, but go to the actual to the discussion for the event, and it's here. And basically the girl says, I'm pro-sex everything.
Oh yeah.
But I do not think that everyone is mentally equipped for a whole phase. It's not for everyone. End up hurting your own feelings if you don't know how to play the game. And so she goes on to talk about, as you blossom, you got to figure out what does and doesn't work for you. Your boundaries with intimacy are super important. Go with what is comfortable for you, not by what you hear and see. Regardless of anything, just make sure you're being safe. And then I screenshot the next point. The next person who responded, not the next person, but somebody else responded, said, exactly, I'm all for doing what you please as long as you protect yourself. I also know that my emotions are tied to people I sleep with. Therefore, I leave that whole phase to the vets, LOL. And I wanted to kind of get into that. That's why I wanted to talk about hookup culture, because it's real. And like people, this is like an art form for people. And so you can't be afraid to ask questions. You can't be afraid to just be honest and ask. Like sometimes there's some things on the first date you do got to ask. Maybe before you even have that first date, you got to, kind of ask those questions and get a feel for what exactly are you looking for, and keep probing. Don't just ask one time. You got to keep asking, because I guarantee you it's going to be some red flags or something that goes up that lets you know what the deal is.
Let me just chime in. Let me chime in on this really quickly. In terms, because we're still talking about whole phase, we're talking about hookup culture and everything. I've been seeing a lot, and I know you've seen in Ringside, the question as far as should you ask someone, how many partners they've been with, their body count, things like that. And I always come back with, does it matter? I mean, why ask that question? When I was single. When I was single, the only thing I care about, and once again, this is my puppy love background, I come to a date, when I start dating someone, I'm prepared to show them my HIV results. I let them know, like, hey, you see all these negatives? That means I'm negative. All this. And so that's the only personal pervasive question that I want to get down to the nitty gritty. In terms of when people talk about what's your body count, why even ask that question? Number one, how do you know they're being honest?
Exactly.
You don't know. I mean, you don't, unless you're walking around, unless you're bringing a polygraph machine to the date. Why ask that question? Because they can sit up there and say they've been with 300 people and tell you they've only been with 3 people. You don't know if they lying or telling the truth.
There you go.
I can answer that. When people say low numbers, and most of the time they're lying, because let's be real here, especially my generation, it's so easy. I'm not going to speak for myself, but I know some people who go in their inbox and just set something up right now. But I'm not speaking for myself, full disclosure. But I'm just saying, but reality is some people do it because they're afraid of being judged. They don't want you thinking they're nasty. But the reality is we are human beings. I'm not going to make this biblical, but the Lord put us on this earth to be sexual beings. We were here to just populate the earth. Yeah. It's just somebody bit the fruit. I won't go there right now because it's going to start a whole nother group of people to hop on here, and I don't need that. But
we can get them next month.
Hey, Jeff.
What's up?
I'm about to say that's true or not, but we're in an area where $40 means something to Florida.
Yeah. Oh. You can buy it. Like you can buy.
It's Florida.
It's just that cheap.
Wow.
It's just that cheap.
Listen, let me tell you something funny about Florida.
What kind of sex are you getting for $40?
Hey man, Atlanta.
You gotta ask Town, because I don't know. Ain't nobody buying nothing.
Hey, this is free. I'm just saying. But go ahead.
The show just went left.
Florida man.
Go ahead, Jeff.
What are you drinking, sir?
It's too much. Whatever it is, it's too much.
Is that beer?
Evan Williams. It's some Evan Williams. But Dr. H knows I'm like this sober. If you ever in Ringside, trust me, I'm like this plain and sober.
Like this sober, yes, in Ringside.
I wasn't ready. I need you to prepare me for craziness like that.
I'll give you a warning
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah, but Horace, help him out. Just jump in.
It's a going joke down here in Florida, but you ain't gonna talk about Florida, Jeff. No, you're
Yeah.
not gonna talk about Florida.
Here's the thing.
Florida is ridiculous.
No, but here's the
Y'all are
thing. Truth be
ridiculous.
told, it doesn't matter what city you go in. $5 could mean something.
Hold on.
No,
but
no,
Florida.
but seriously, let's be honest. And truth be told, if you want to be with somebody, you don't even have to have $1. You have to have a question.
True.
Like, let's be honest. People want to have sex, and there is somebody for everybody. So if
True.
you come across anybody that, if you walk in the right circle, you're going to be able to get what you want for free. Period.
Right.
So it
I
doesn't
agree.
matter if I have $40. That's why I was shocked. $40. Why do you need to pay $40? Because
I'm like $40.
some people are out at home wanting to get it in, and you just not asking. Period.
I agree with that. I agree with that 1,000%.
And this is okay. So let me tell you one of my issues, okay? Because this is just burning me up.
Go ahead.
One of my issues is that sometimes people will sit there in front like they don't have no needs, and then they just sit there and they're like, well, I'm gonna sit at home and I'm gonna do, I'm gonna promote the Troy. It is safe. But at the end of the day, you have an option of being with somebody and they want to be with you, or they've shown some sort of interest, but they may not have whatever it is. But if you make it clear that, hey, I want to get it in with you, are you interested? Just put it out there. Why be alone? I'm not understanding. And that's my biggest issue is like, why can't you just say, I want this. This is what I need. X, Y. You know what I'm saying? It's just very simple. We have so many.
It's again, I think part of hookup culture is the games people play. I think people see what they want. It's like, okay, y'all remember on Friday when on Friday with what's his name character, we said, the Lord is my shepherd. I see what I want. Miss Parker. Miss Parker. Okay.
Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
No.
People see what they want, and regardless of what you say, they will absolutely say what they think you want to hear to get you to compromise and give them what they want.
No,
and that's rather than just be mature and grown and be like you said, just
it's a clause to
be
that.
honest and say that's what you want to do, but that's not the culture. Like, some people are used to just playing that game. Like, it's an art form. Folks out here trying to teach whole classes about how to work game and all this kind of stuff. It's ridiculous.
My issue is like, here's the thing. Truth be told, like, let's just use events. Let's just use events as an example, okay?
Right.
I attend many events, and I do look good, right? Because Jeff saw me after one, and he, whatever. So a lot of the time, even though I'm pretty, quote unquote,
You're beautiful.
Okay.
Stop downplaying.
Okay, well, I'm gorgeous, whatever. So
Oh yes.
I will say I will stand by myself a lot of the time. No one will ask me to dance. No, why? Because I'll tell
Can
you.
I answer that?
Yeah, you answered and I can answer it.
Okay.
You probably can answer it.
With the punk stuff.
It's not.
What I want to say,
they're scared
the
of
clause in social media right now is a lot of people don't have that courage, because we're going to talk about something later on in the show, but a lot of people don't want to get curved. I've seen dudes
rejection.
earnestly go at a chick, and then she put them on blast on social media. Get out my inbox, or go and tell 5 people, oh,
That's
he tried to holler at me, or hey, he did come, straightforward and say, this is what I'm looking for. Instead of just saying whatever, I'm gonna put him on blast for my insecurities, and now dude, like, embarrassed. It happens.
Yeah, it definitely happens. I agree.
There is a huge misperception that men don't fear rejection, and that is a lie. That is a lie, and that does affect. I really do think that affects it. And again, DM culture, like hookup culture, the DMs are lit a lot of times. But people don't want to be. Men don't want to be put on blast like that.
Right.
Well, I just think
That's true.
Well, and this, like, my biggest issue is, as a gorgeous woman, is it's very disconcerting to be in an event and be like, well, what is wrong with me? Like, I really feel like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Like, I look good. Like, why don't you won't talk to me.
I can stand up and show my whole body and people be like, oh, she's banging, whatever. But I promise you, for every person that is sitting there thinking I'm banging, I am not getting pulled to the dance floor. It's always the dude that I don't want to talk to me that be like, hey, shorty, can I slap you up like some biscuits and gravy type stuff?
Epiphany.
I will never treat that man like he's less than. So I will dance with him. I will acknowledge him like a human being. I know I am not the typical gorgeous woman. I'm very respectful in my track and in the way that I address men. Because I feel like Black men need to be addressed a certain way, and I want to uplift them, not put them down.
Well,
but
we thank you for that.
There's enough of that happening.
You're out of 100.
Go ahead, Horace.
Oprah and Gail.
I was gonna say, we thank her for that, but that's reality. Is she's probably 1 out of 100. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of dudes, and to your credit, a lot of dudes may not feel like they're on your level.
Let me tell you what else. Let me tell you what else these women be doing. Let me tell you what else y'all be doing in the club. They will sit there and let you buy them a drink. They will dance with you, and after you want, they don't text you when you get their number.
The way you call them right then.
Have you done that?
Because it was about I just wanted what I can get. But that's just like women who go out on dates for men for a free meal. They know good now. They know good dog.
I cook. You know, I do my own thing. So I am a different type of woman. I'm not asking all kinds of dudes to pay this bill or that bill. I just think I move on my own. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I was taught as a young woman by my mother, who was single, who raised 4 children, is you don't let anyone own you for $1, 2 pennies, 3 cents. So if he does buy me something, I ask them, "Are you sure?" And yeah, boo, I got you. Okay.
I like her.
No, I was raised the same way. I don't mean you to do it. I can buy my own drink. That's not even a requirement. It's like, okay, if I want to dance, I want to dance. I'll get on the dance floor solo.
Me too.
Or whatever it may be. But at the same time, I think that because I think some men fear rejection so much that they see a woman and they get intimidated. It's like, but even if I can give you a hint or a clue that I'm available and might be interested, you still scared. That's a turn off for me because now you're insecure and I ain't got time for your insecurity.
I'm still gonna take the time out to kind of uplift you because here's the thing. I need to encourage you. I want to see Black men win because the Black men that win help us as a race win. You know what I'm saying? So
agreed.
At the end of the day, regardless of whether or not something goes past that, then whatever. But in that moment, I'll be like, "You're a cool dude, whatever," and I will communicate with them.
You know, exactly. I think that's too. There's an opportunity to open the door to get to know somebody. Just because you approach somebody and get to know them in the club or wherever doesn't mean that it's going to lead to what you think. You might end up with friends. I got some male friends right now that I've never hooked up with, just real genuine friends, and we encourage each other because of a situation like that. But I think it just depends on the maturity of the people and what you're talking about, and how salty you are, how you approach it, and your maturity level. Troy, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say to the ladies, in terms of, we're talking about rejection, and I saw someone in the comments, they talk about rejection is something that both men and women, are afraid of. I mean, it's nobody necessarily likes the feeling of being rejected, when they're approaching something. I don't care if it's a person or a job or any type of opportunity. But my question to the ladies, particularly Epiphany, when you talked about, well, both of y'all, I'm sorry, when you're at the club or out and you see a man and you're questioning, like, how come they're not approaching me? And Dr. H knows where I'm going with this. What is the opposition for you approaching that man?
See, I just have this thing about roles. So as I am a very strong personality. So because I know I'm a very strong personality, I know that you can challenge that strong personality within me. So it's not that I'm unwilling to approach a man. Of course, I've approached a man. But I guess I want to see that you're strong enough to approach me too.
Right.
With that, I'm gonna affirm. This is gonna sound unconventional. I do not believe in women approaching men. I do not. I'm
Why
sorry.
not?
I just don't. I'm old school when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Women are beautiful.
Very traditional.
They're traditional.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And forgive me if this does not sound right, but
I think the
Well,
man.
let me caveat that. How will you know? How will you know or have the confidence to approach a woman if she doesn't let it be known that she's even available? Because I think there's a difference between approaching a man and saying, "Hey, I'm interested in you and coming on," versus just making your presence known that you are available and not in a relationship.
women flirting is one thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
A woman
Right.
actually coming up and actually trying to get your number and stuff.
I'm not with that.
No. And there's been times I've been out and a female is approaching.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. I ain't finna just bust up and give you my number like call me. Hey, I ain't.
Shut it down. Not because but it tells me one that's just in my relationship or whatever I'm trying to build them is not going to work that way.
I think it's
under
the
any
tone.
circumstance.
Yeah, it sets
No.
the tone, and like I think the thing is, if I want a certain tone in my relationship, I feel like the man should approach me. And yeah, I have a voice. I can make myself be heard, but at the same time, I need him to approach me and show me that he is what I need him to be.
I agree.
My rebuttal to that is that, anybody knows me, I'm extremely, and Dr. H, she's seen all my comments. She knows I'm extremely liberal. I believe in people doing what works for them because I wake up every day. I don't let society or traditions or anything dictate what I do and what I don't do. If tradition aligns with my personal taste, then I'm going with it. If I feel a certain way, but tradition says no, you should do the other way, I'm gonna say fuck tradition. I'm gonna do it my way because the little time I have 6 feet above ground, both my hands are on the wheel, not tradition, not life, not society. The reason I say that because I know in my lifetime, in my 40 years, I've approached a lot of women. Majority of the women that I've approached are all kind of a blur, like they all just start blending in. Every woman that's approached me, I remember because women, all the women that have, taken that initiative and seen me, maybe they saw me and I didn't see them, and they approached me and either they began flirting or they approached me with a compliment and expressed, hey, they were interested in me. I remember every woman that's ever approached me because that stands out. That lets me know, okay, she's not being passive about her dating life because like you two were saying, you two, may be more traditional. I'm not traditional. I'm more so like life is about customization. I customize my life to my own needs, my own wants, my own interests. And so the reason I say that is only because even in Ringside, we have women that talk about they want this, that, third, and the third. Mm-hmm. But the only thing that approaches them, they say, well, the only men that approach me are the men with gold teeth and baby mamas and do-rags and stuff like that. And I express to women, if you approach men, it doesn't mean you have to approach them with masculine energy. You have feminine wiles. You can approach a man with feminine energy. When you approach a man, you pick exactly the type of man you want. But when you don't approach, when you decide to sit, you only can choose what's available to you as far as what approaches you. So if all you attract are the broke baby daddies from Dade County with gold teeth and whatever, then that's all you can choose. Don't
like that because they're I'm not knocking Florida. I'm not gonna knock Florida. I listen to a lot of Rick Ross, so that's the only reason I know about Dade County.
But listen, to agree with Troy, I'm saying in this situation, if a woman was to come and approach me, I mean, especially a beautiful woman, I pretty much know it's on. So I'm going to be in a place where I'm vested. So I'm not going to mind going and say, hey, let's go out to dinner. But I do advise all my friends, male friends, that, taking out people out on dates is costly. And 9 out of 10 times, you ask a woman out to dinner, she's not going to turn you down. So I always tell a guy that first initial phone call or a FaceTime before you guys take a date. But I don't see nothing wrong with a woman approaching in this era because now I ain't worried about rejection. And if she comes to me, that means I believe she's really interested enough for me to take the rest of the lead on.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of the pressure of rejection off.
Yeah.
I think so. We have like
every woman that's approached me, I went out with. Every single woman. If you approach me, and mind you, like I said, the majority of my life, I did the approaching. I see a woman I like, I think is fine, sexy, either DMs or whatever, I always approach. But every single woman that's approached me and expressed interest, 100% of the time I went out with them. 100%.
Cool. Okay, so we have a few minutes left. I want to get into if anybody watching the town hall has any questions, feel free to light up the chat. There's a question here that says, if we're talking about hooking up, does it matter who makes the first move?
Yes.
Why?
I don't think so.
I do, but everyone knows, I have a more dominant personality, and if you approach me first, you call the shots, I'm gonna be turned off completely. That's just me.
Well, but I think it boils down to preference, your interest. And if you like being, I think here's going to be my piggyback question to that. Is there a difference in how alpha males view hookup culture versus those who are a little bit more mild and tame? Yeah. Jeff, you're an alpha male. I know several alpha males, but alpha males are not one size fits all. They're not all equal. They're not all created equal, but
I hate that.
I do think there's a difference in how the attraction that alpha males have with women that approach them versus not. I think it's the way the woman approaches. Like if Troy said, if you approach with femininity,
yes,
or if it's just, I'm just letting you know I'm interested and let you take the reins.
I mean, let me say this to piggyback off what you're saying. Every woman that's approached me, they were hyper feminine. If I'm walking, I don't care where I'm walking. If a woman grabbed my arm and said, "Hey, shorty," that's it. No, there's no conversation. Get the fuck away from me. It ain't gonna happen. Grabbing me and treat me like no, that ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Like, I'm like, stranger danger. I need an adult. That ain't gonna happen. So, but there is definitely a way. The women that I think about who approach me, they were feminine to the max, to the point where I was like, well, goddamn. Yes, I would like a drink.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Yeah.
And so for me, it was always, and some people, I guess, conflate the two, as far as approaching a woman or a woman just flirting with a man, because in many instances, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was women that was just approaching me to flirt with me. And once I got the indication that they were interested, I'm like, okay, she's doing this, she's doing that. Obviously, she's feeling me. So I'm going to ask her for the number.
Right.
I'm going to see what her situation, her status is. So regardless, I am always a believer at never, when something like your dating life, don't be passive, because tomorrow isn't promised. And at the end of the day, if you see somebody you like, go talk to them. If not, a better person will. A better person, maybe even a less deserving person may get their number. Because at the end of the day, I do believe as a man, it doesn't matter if a man approaches a woman. It doesn't mean he's going to be the leader. It doesn't mean he's going to be a good man. It doesn't mean he's going to have character. It doesn't mean he's going to be a good provider or a good husband. It just means that he saw you first and you approached first. It does not mean, I don't think, and that, like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to set the tone as far as, oh, he's going to be the one to make the right decisions, is going to lead you in the right direction. It just means he saw you and he approached you.
Right. Jeff, what were what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate and respect everything y'all saying, but I be approaching, I be asking out, and when we do go on a date or whatever, I pay, and that's that.
I want to talk about that in the next one.
I got plenty to say about that.
Unconventional dating trends.
Yes, I am very unconventional.
Between that and women proposing to men, proposing marriage to men.
I got in trouble for that. I lost. I think that day when I chimed in and I was caping for the women, I was like, I think I lost some followers that day. I didn't care. Yeah. But I was like, hey, I don't, just because I wouldn't do it doesn't mean I knock anybody else. I've been proposed to, and I just told my girlfriend at the time, I was like, I got midterms. I'm not thinking about marriage right now.
Did you say your answer was I got midterms?
It was the truth. I was a junior in college, and I'm like, no.
Right.
But we still dated. But no, when I got married, I proposed. I always imagined myself proposing to my woman. I don't, but at the end of the day, what other people do with those other couples, if that woman wants to get down on one knee or propose, I'm not going to judge them. I'm like, that's their life.
Oh, I'm not going to judge them either, but they're going to get a very nasty response from me. And not nasty, they're going to get this is a joke. I'm sorry. High school.
You don't have to reject her.
Oh, Sadie Hawkins dance.
That's different, but I'm not going to reject, because this happened to me. I'm not going to reject them, but I'm going to give a side eye and be like, we're going to do this. I hate to say it on my time, but I'm just going to give them a side eye and be like, no, just don't work that way. Sorry. That's me, and I know not everybody.
I also think it boils down to, you got to know who you're dating. Like, you have to know the person you're dating. Why would you promote? Why would you propose to someone who you know is they're not gonna go for that? You know what I mean? To me, I feel like you're dishonoring that person, and you don't really value who they are.
Well, no, her rationale, being in Texas and stuff, her rationale was you're taking too long. In some Southern traditions, you date 3 to 6 months. You know what I'm saying? And you got to say you need to get married. That's just that Southern conservative mindset. So that's what it was. You're taking too long, Jeffrey. That's fine.
What state is that? Arkansas?
Texas.
San Antonio? I knew it.
I probably I'd get kicked out of Texas more than likely.
That's crazy.
I went last year in Texas.
I think that's also, again, that's up there with labeling people and stuff, like putting a time on how long you should date before you propose marriage. Now, don't get me wrong. If you've been dating for 3 years and it ain't going nowhere, that's on you. Like, you should be having conversations. You should know in the beginning what the long-term plans of that person are. Now, if you change, say you dated somebody and they have a life, something happens in their life, and now they're not on the same track with you. Now, whereas before they did want to get married, now something happened and they changed their mind. That's different. You need to have another conversation, and then that's where you have to decide, okay, maybe I need to transition away because I know I want to get married and you no longer want to get married. We don't want the same things anymore. That's different. But all of that, you dating 3 months, 6 months, you don't even know that person. Sometimes it take a while for people to really reveal who they are.
A year.
Yeah, some people can hold their breath for a long time before you see who they really are. But I mean, I've always said, regardless if it's marriage or sex, I can't tell someone when they should be ready to make a potentially life-altering decision. Marriage, if it's done the wrong way, can change the complete course and trajectory of your life. Just like sex, if it's done the wrong way and you get a disease or you get KID or something, change your whole life. So when people talk about when someone should be ready to take the next step, that's on them. They may not be ready when you're ready. You may be ready. I mean, trust me, as a man, I know what it's like to be on a date with a woman, and I'm like, I'm ready now. We haven't ordered the appetizer yet, but I'm ready to have sex right now. She's not ready. So I have to wait. She may be ready for marriage. I'm like, you know what? We've been together for a year or 2 years. I'm not ready.
Somebody may be together for 40 years and never know her. I
agree. I was just about to say that. There are people who you absolutely can be together for 40, 50 years and never know a person.
And still not know them.
That's real.
Question now. Here's the question. Should people stay with each other? Might be another show. Should they coexist, stay together for a while before they get married?
Why not?
Traditionally, a lot of people, religiously.
Common law marriage is real. That's all I'm gonna say.
Common law marriage is real. My girlfriend, my girlfriend right now, she has a neighbor who is I think he's in his 60s or 70s. He lives with his girlfriend. They've been together for almost 30 years. Wow. Never married. They live together. They do everything together. They're so intertwined that people think that she is his wife, but he'd be quick to say, no, that's not my wife. We're not married. We've been together since the 80s, but we're not married. Just like, I don't care if it's Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. Never married, but I look at it like, it's not on me I can't impose my religion, my beliefs, and my tradition on you, because what I believe in, it may not fit you. It just may not. It may not fit how you were raised. It may not fit your philosophy. And like I said, remember on Monday, I said for every for every lid, there's a pot. For every pot, there's a lid. If you're someone who doesn't believe in marriage, you don't have to believe in marriage, but that doesn't mean you don't believe in companionship. There's a lot of people that want companionship. That don't mean they want marriage. Find somebody who's on the same mindset. Because I promise you, no matter what you're thinking, no matter what you want, I guarantee you, somebody else wants the exact same thing.
There were two powerful comments that were made. One person said marriage complicates things, and the other person, it just went away. But they said something to the extent of sometimes you don't know people till you live with them. And I cannot echo that strongly.
I like this other girl's comment when she's talking about
together to whatever and no marriage. So she said it's not cute being together.
I just think that women, and we've always, I think that women as women were indoctrinated into this want. Like we're all it's the fairy tale, right? We've been growing up watching Disney,
Cinderella,
and the man comes and he saves you and whatever, and that may not be the reality, right? And that there's a movie every few months that comes out and says it's an indoctrination. You've been shown this your whole life of wanting to be the princess in the fairy tale. Now, don't get it wrong, I am a princess, but. Seriously, I think it's all about setting a goal and a standard for yourself and then communicating that, right? So if you want to be married, and you clearly communicate with your partner, hey, this is something that I'm looking forward to. It's up to your partner to say, hey, this is not what I'm into, right? If they can't communicate that, as the other girl said too, she listed a whole bunch of numbers, you have to then make a decision on to leave them.
Well, hold on. Someone just said it seems taboo to tell someone you want to marry them. I kind of agree.
No, it's not.
It pushed pressure on me.
I kind of agree. I agree with Jeffrey.
I don't think that there's something wrong because it lets you know that
they're looking for their goal.
No, okay. So I think that it says this. Mm-hmm. I think that someone says, okay, I think you're whole enough to be with me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I've always been in church, and maybe we're not talking about church, but when you talk about two people and you talk about someone saying, hey, will you marry me? They're saying, I'm a whole person, and I think you're whole enough to be with me. That's a very deep thing. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, and not necessarily you complete me, but you're whole enough. I think that we can conquer this world together in a situation.
Let me respond. Let me say this. I do feel like one of the things I've seen, and Dr. H, I apologize if a lot of things I'm saying are just repetitive from ringside. I do agree. I agree. There's a difference. There's a difference between wanting to get married and wanting to spend the rest of your life with that person. Yeah. Because you can definitely. You can get with someone the same way as a man. I want to have sex. It doesn't mean I really want to be with you and it's an expression of love. I just need a willing partner. I just need somebody, a consenting, willing partner to make what I want a reality. I think that a lot of people, and I do feel bad for a lot of women who have to deal with that pressure, that society pressure, or being indoctrinated to feel marriage validates you, because you have women who just want to get married, but then after marriage have to realize, okay, now you're spending the rest of your life with that man. You're not exactly sure if you want to be with. You just wanted the wedding day, you wanted the ring, you wanted the MRS degree, but there is a difference. Like, let me know you want to spend the rest of your life with me, my faults, my quirks, the fact that I drink milk out the carton, the fact that I fart in bed sometimes, all that. Is that what you want for the rest of your life? Or is just, sorry, it happens. Or is it that you just want to walk down the aisle just to get married, just to compete with your line sisters or compete with, your peers? And so I really do feel bad as a man. I think as men, we don't go through that. If we don't go through, that type of programming from a young age to feel like we need to get married. We have to get married. I didn't go through that. My parents haven't brought it up.
I think that's the huge difference between men and women. And it's that as young girls, we grow up playing Barbie dolls, planning our future, our wedding day, and all this other stuff, while guys are playing G.I. Joe Tonka truck with G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip and Tonka trucks and all that stuff. And it's the indoctrination of what we think about versus men. And I think that's another conversation of is the difference between male views and women views when it comes to dating, relationship, marriage, all of that stuff, because the way, first of all, we already know men and women are different. We don't communicate the same. We don't think the same. Yeah. We're not on the same wavelength. But I do think how you are raised in the home, what you see, what you're told to play with, all of this kind of stuff plays into a lot of, you know, who you become and your views on relationships and dating. I can tell you right now, there's people who come from toxic homes who say, I don't want that, versus those who go right into that same thing. A lot of that happens. So we're going to be at one end of the spectrum. So who's to say what, you know,
Dr. Hughes.
Stuff that we're indoctrinated into. I agree. There's no right and wrong, because it all boils down to what's your perception. But again, Paul said it way earlier, and he said it Monday night, was finding that person that you are compatible with. If you vanilla, you need to find somebody who vanilla, or who might have a little bit of swirl in it that you can manage, versus you vanilla trying to be with somebody who's espresso and you terrified and it's not working and you mad because it's not working. You with somebody you just not compatible with. Let it go. Just
Hughes. Listen. Men and women are, to your point, women, you guys grow up talking about the perfect wedding and all of that stuff. Men, we're talking about success. Whether it's, hey, I'm going to go to the NFL, but most men, hey, success is getting his house and the car, going through my player years, and then I'm going to choose somebody.
Let's be real here. Why do we talk about success? Because women are out here putting pressure on us that we got to be a baller. Not all of them, because I know you supposed to love you.
Yeah, I do.
But let's be real here. You're not going to date no bum that has a GED that works at McDonald's.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Because the more successful guy is going to get the what? Going to get the prize chick. And that's what, you know, coming up, that's what the thing is. If I'm a boss dude, I got the house, the cars, I'm going to get the baddest chick.
So I think that when you're talking about the indoctrination and this and that, men have been, you know, okay, let's just say we have the perfect household, you know, a son, a daughter, a mother, and a father. The father will say, you know, hey, you know, play the field and, you know, do what you got to do and, you know, whatever. Whereas the female is told, save yourself for marriage, you know, all these different things. And that's a real thing. Save yourself for marriage. Don't have sex before marriage. You want to be pure. You want to be holy. I can tell you a whole bunch of stuff that I was told as a young woman.
Me too.
And at the end of the day,
me too.
You know, whether or not you save yourself, that's your, you know, I'm not going to knock any of that. But I will say that that's a turnoff to some men. You know, when you grow up in that traditional indoctrination of men getting this, I feel like it's like a leg up. So it doesn't even matter what color you are, but I think that it's like a leg up. Be successful, you know, be successful. I think it comes from the mother and the father to be successful. I don't necessarily think that it's women pushing you to be successful. I think it's the mother and the father saying, be successful. And maybe you bring your mother up and you know, like if you look at NFL players or whatever, they buy their mother a house or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily to impress women. It's just there's a standard of success among men, whereas women, we have been. Oh look, someone said men want peace above all. Well, I do agree with that as well, but I think that the thing is there's a price tag to that peace. You know what I'm saying? You have to have the success. You have everything. All your little ducks have to be in a row in order for you to have that peace that comes with, you know, quote unquote money and, you know, whatever, all your stuff being right. But I just think that women, we grow up playing Barbies, playing house. that is what you grow up doing. I know most women that, you know, I guess they look like me. I don't know how to cook. I know how to cook.
No,
I know a lot of women.
I go down. I'm sorry, I'm Southern. I get down.
I'm gonna say this.
Well, okay, let me come over.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't apologize for sounding chauvinist, but cooking is a requirement for me.
Yeah.
You can't cook, gotta go. I'm sorry.
But how many?
That's your expectation. That's your standard. You shouldn't. Here's the problem I have with that, Jeff. With your caveat, the fact that you feel like you have to apologize for your standard is a problem. It's not chauvinistic. It's what you. If you are raised to desire something, or just because you have an expectation.
No. I said I'm not sorry because I know.
Oh yeah, no, because that's to me.
Sorry. And also very demeaning. Or the response I get is, "Do you cook?" No.
Why? But see, that shouldn't even be a thing. But that also tells me again, it's a maturity issue.
Will.
Yeah.
I've even dated folks who said they didn't feel like cooking, and I said, "Okay, I will have someone else cook," and they'll go, "Okay, we'll have them come cook too." For us, and they'll do it. I'm just saying, but that's some bullshit.
I mean, I just think there was a question. So, can a woman bring peace? I think the thing is like, if you allow a woman, like, if you clearly communicate what it is that you are wanting, right? What kind of peace are you looking for? What are your requirements for that peace? And are you allowing her to bring you peace? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it comes down to the ability to communicate. If you are not communicating with your significant other, and I think everyone echoed this evening, I think we all said communicate. Then you can't get what you're looking for, period. And if you don't even allow that person to be around you to be that for you, then you know what I'm saying? I think the thing is that what we talked about earlier, social media culture, we're so stuck in our phones that we're not even in our, like, you know, Jeff and I are here together. We're not like communicating or interacting with each other. We're on our phones. We're on social media. We're stuck for the Joneses. What is that getting you? Are you living in the moment with your significant other? If you want to talk relationship, period, you can't relationship with anyone if you're interacting with others via a computer or a phone, period.
Well, some people are just not good in person. I mean, that goes for people who talk trash on social media. There's times people post the crap on me, and I see them in person say, "Oh, what were you saying?" "Oh, I wasn't talking about you." You know what I'm saying? Or there's people who spit game, talk all this trash. "Oh, when I see you, I'm gonna rock your world. I'm gonna do all this." And you meet them, and they just look at you, and they can barely say 2 words.
You're 6'3".
So
okay, you're.
Brother Jeffrey, trust me, I've had that exact. You preaching the word right there. People, you got a lot of bandwidth bloods and keyboard crips out there. They do a lot, but when you see them in public, and they ain't got their boys with them, oh, it's a different story.
You're just
it's
like
a different story.
Say what is on your mind, and you don't care what people think. You can block me, whatever. But you know what I always ask people? What did I say was wrong? They can never answer. They don't like what I said, but they can never say why it was wrong, ever. So,
I mean, definition of wrong is very fluid.
That's fine. I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so we're over our time. This might need to be.
Are we over?
I didn't realize we were over.
2 hours.
Yeah, we're a little over. It's been amazing, y'all. Y'all have given me life tonight. I swear, folks, Jesus. Y'all have given me life tonight, and we're gonna have to revisit and come back because we got a lot more to talk about. So much that we didn't get into. I definitely next time want to talk about again a lot of things that are affecting, you know, some dating trends that are affecting people's ability to seriously date, and just understanding, you know, how to navigate dating. There is no one size fit all to dating. Let me just say that as I close out. It's really not. I think at the end of the day, it boils down to you need to be mature enough you just need to be mature, period, to be dating. period. Because it takes maturity to handle rejection. You got to be okay if somebody don't want to be with you. You got to be okay that if somebody just want to hook up and they don't want the same thing that you want. You got to be mature enough to understand and to be able to accept that no, and or whatever the case may be. And that's what it boils down to. We got some stuff. I got some text, some stuff we can talk about next time. But y'all were interesting. The panelists were great. The audience was great. Catch the replay. Y'all hashtag talk about it. If you want to talk about something next time, hashtag it, talk about it in the group, in the discussion, send it to me, whatever.
I will.
Invite me to your group.
Oh, I'll put you in there.
Yes, I will. Matter of fact, let me put it up here. I'm going to put up Ringside right now so you guys can see it. Go ahead, Troy. Tell people about Ringside, please, while I get ready to bring it up.
Okay, so Ringside is a collective community of outspoken, overtop, and opinionated men and women who debate issues surrounding singlehood, dating, marriage, sex, and divorce. And so the purpose of it is to bolster communication between men and women for healthier dating and more prosperous marriages. So I tell people, I kind of let people know, we call it Ringside for two reasons, double entendre. One, boxing is one of my favorite sports. And so Ringside is a debate. So it's all about the back and forth of views, viewpoints, thoughts. But also we call it Ringside because, the ring is the physical and symbolic representation of marriage and commitment. So what side of the ring are you on? Are you trying to get inside the ring, i.e. marriage, or are you trying to stay in the ring, or are you trying to get out? So we tell people, if you have strong views about this genre, join Ringside, join the Verbal Heavyweights and come make your presence known and have a good time, but also learn.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. Jeff, you have a show on Thursday nights?
Every other Thursday. My best friend, he's not here, but we have a group that's very inclusive to everybody. He has an audience, I have an audience, but basically it's called Code Red. I reject political correctness, but it's more focused on normative things where we talk about pop culture, sex as well. Very, very more in depth about sex, not just the more surface things. So it is very interesting. It attracts a little bit more group than others, but it's never any cut cards. So I will, of course, Troy just sent me a friend request so you could see on Thursday night. We do not hold our tongue in any way, shape, or form.
Life's too short to hold your tongue.
Yeah,
life is way too short.
I'm going to say this. If you have a weak stomach, if you super sensitive, don't watch that show on Thursday night.
Yeah, and then we're sponsored by Facebook.
I catch the replay and I'm like, ooh, baby. don't. I'm just being honest with you.
Oh, it's fine.
It's very candid, but if you want to post on dating and the dating scene, club scene, nightlife, stuff that they talk about, hip hop culture, seriously, Code Red, check it out. Because it's like Ringside. If you listen, it ain't for the faint at heart, but if you mature and you serious and you want to post, if you want to step into the ring and get in on the conversation, the kind of stuff that we need to be having, because you need to know what is going. I don't care if you call yourself a life coach. And I'm gonna hit this because I got an issue with it. If you call yourself a life coach and you don't have to post on what's going on, you ain't got no business being a life coach. Because how you coaching somebody on you and you don't know what's going on in the community. You don't know what's going on in the world, but you in your little bubble trying to coach somebody to your doctrine. That ain't life coaching. Life coaching is being able to have a broad mind and understand and come to that person's level and bring their consciousness up to another level to where they can grow and advance. That's my plug on that. Towns, do you have anything you want to share with people?
No, not really. Honestly, man, I think this panel here could talk about anything. I think the more shows, the better. 2 hours went by, and it'll probably be 2.5 before we get offline. I can't listen.
I knew he had jokes. I knew he had some jokes.
Listen,
he is a comedian.
I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a comedian. I'm a writer by trade, but right now I'm not doing any tours because we can't do anything. But right now, we're gonna talk about
support. You know, and Dr. H will tell you, I will push your event hard. Just tell me when. I'll push
Appreciate
it. Audience, I promise you. But just tell me when, and I'll get you a platform. Just do it.
Yeah, if everybody can put a link to their website or their, how we can get in contact with you, please do so.
Jeff,
please put a link, so we know how to follow you.
In the comments, because I don't have a link right now. I posted the link to Ringside. Post a link to Code Red.
I got it.
So people can have it.
I got it.
Yeah. But I think this is something that we're going to keep carrying on, man. I think we found something special. And I mean, the views, especially from Troy and Jeff, even me being on the panel, I'm like, I like the perspective, and then Epiphany was refreshing, you know what I mean? Because stereotypically, that's not what a lot of people are seeing or even hearing. So that does, get a couple people to be more rejuvenated to go back out there and probably talk to the woman they usually wouldn't talk to. So I'm just thankful for the appearance.
They'll be fine.
Listen, you can't. Let me tell you something. If you're gonna date, you can't be scared.
Can't be scared.
That's my whole point. Is like, are you too scared? Like, what am I gonna do with the dude that can't approach me, and then someone's coming up to rob me, and you on this road with me? That ain't gonna work. Like, no. I need someone that's like gonna. I
like alpha males, and that's it. I don't want nobody that's gonna be jumping on the couch when somebody show up. I ain't got time for that.
I'm gonna say this: I'm one of them chicks that's gonna ride and die. So if I'm gonna ride and die, I need you to ride or die, like straight like that. I just need you to be able to approach. Period.
Dr. H, really quickly before we sign off, I just want to. Quick public health message. I mean, we talked about hookup culture early during the discussion. I just want to advise everybody out there, if you're out there hooking up, please protect yourself. Please go out there, know your status. It's all about social responsibility. Wrap your shit up. Please do so, okay? Because at the end of the day, everybody's talking about Corona. Corona is real, but HIV and AIDS is still a serious issue out on these streets. I don't care that it's now labeled as chronic. I don't care that they have the cocktail to help you manage it. It's still not anything you want. So, right, exactly. So at the end of the day, it's something you can still prevent. Go out there, get you some condoms, practice safe sex, get tested, know your status, know the status of your partner you're dealing with, and be safe. That's just a quick public health message.
Amazing. Yeah. And for those of you who came on late, if you don't know, Troy does work for the CDC. So, but yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. There's so much that we can talk about. We're going to keep this conversation going. I'll talk with the panelists to see when we want to do it again. We really, first of all, just thank you guys for tuning in. You guys were an amazing audience. Thank you for interacting with us. Your comments were amazing. She said come February, March, there'll be a lot of babies. Oh yeah, I believe that too.
No, they're going to be December babies, right?
Yeah.
December.
That's not good.
But it depends on how long this shut-in goes on.
Speaking of birthdays, mine was canceled. I was supposed to go to Vegas. We ain't getting that. I've been pissed for a month. The second this is over, 2 weeks once it's over, it's birthday weekend. So stay tuned for it. I'm doing something.
Oh, Lord.
And we'll plug it. So again, thank you guys so much. Listen, again, you guys have been amazing. Thank our panelists. They were amazing. The audience, you guys were amazing. Y'all had awesome energy. And I'm looking forward to the next one. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night. Remember to spread lots of light. Good night, you guys.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all. Take care.
Okay.
How do you close this thing?
I'm ending the broadcast now.
I like this. StreamYard. All right, we'll talk. Thank you.